Hi, I'm Venus O'Hara and welcome to another video. I'm almost finishing the book I'm reading called Sexual Sorcery, a complete guide to sex magic. And that's inspired me to make this video about how to use your sexual energy to manifest. I've made several videos about this topic, and it's something I first came across when I read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And especially I had a massive impact or a kind of eureka moment when I came across chapter 10, which is called The Mystery of Sex Transmutation. And I've been a sexpert now for 12 years, so when I found out that I could actually use my sexual energy for a higher purpose, something more than just pleasure, I was absolutely blown away and I wanted to find out more. However, so let me just tell you quickly what sexual transmutation is. It's basically transmuting the sexual energy into a different form of energy, a different outlet, not trying to kind of use that energy in a kind of, let's say, watching porn or having sex, that type of way. It's a kind of, you could do it with thought, with meditation, with breathing, things like that. So in basic terms, it could be, if you're horny, you could kind of like close your eyes and kind of imagine that energy going through your body and then doing something that you're really focused on in a non-sexual way, such as it could be something creative, it could be sport, it could be something that you're working on in a non-sexual way. But that sounded all well and good to me, but I thought that was a form of sexual denial as well. And as I'm a sexpert, I didn't really want to deny myself the pleasure of actually having an outlet for my sexual energy, and especially orgasm as well. So there are lots of teachings about sexual transmutation and about how if you maintain the energy, you can do a lot more with it. But I do think there's a bit of a difference between male sexual energy and female sexual energy. I don't think females lose the same amount of energy through orgasm. So that's a kind of topic I came across in when I was reading about Taoism. I've read some books by Mantak Chia and some other books as well about from a Taoist perspective, and what they said there was a male can lose energy through ejaculation, but a female would lose energy through menstruation. So that means the orgasm is very kind of a different experience energetically speaking. So I thought, oh, it's so cool to be a woman. Anyway, then I discovered a video by Teal Swan called How to Use Orgasm to Manifest, and then that was like, wow. So I really paid great attention to this video, and from that I kind of made up my own technique of using my orgasm to manifest, which is basically, well, I've made many videos about this. So basically what I would do is, before I masturbate, I would set an intention, and then I would kind of, in the fantasies I'm having, I would kind of, let's say, eroticize my desire. So let's say it could be a new home. I would imagine erotic things happening in that home, something like that. And also, let's say if you wanted to go on holiday or something, you might imagine you being in the holiday situation and something erotic happening there. So it's always kind of like taking the element of what I wanted to manifest and kind of making it erotic to kind of get me in the mood. And also there are lots of, but then I and then just before the orgasm, I would really focus on that intention again, and also what I've done during these moments of masturbation is I also listen to affirmation tracks, because I know that affirmations really get into your subconscious. So I was listening to affirmation tracks about abundance, about new homes, about self-love, all these different things that I wanted to manifest in a non-sexual way. And I didn't realise that this practice has been around for a long time. I kind of made up my own techniques, but it's called sex magic. And that name to me sounds a little bit spooky, sex magic. And it's magic with a K at the end as well. And then I discovered, I was really interested to know, or I was quite amazed to know that it's been around for a long time. It's kind of like a big confirmation to me that what I was doing was something not so crazy in the end. And so many people get confused about, or that they want to know how, in a practical sense, how you can actually use your sexual energy to manifest. And I came across 3 books that I'm going to describe here, and these are the best explanations that I can possibly recommend. Definitely. I'm going to start off with the most simple one. This is a very short book. I read this in 2 days. It's called Adventures in Sex Magic, Control Your Life with the Power of Lust. Oh my God. And it's by Damon Brand. And I read an article about sex magic, and they recommended this book, so I was like, I'm getting it. So as soon as I got this book, I was just literally, I devoured it. It was so interesting and very, very, very it's basically an incredibly basic guide and it's there teaches you different techniques. So there is a 6-step technique that I really find interesting, about visualization and intention setting, and then having the orgasm. And then it talks about as well sigils, which are symbols that you can create that would represent the thing you want to manifest. And it also discusses partner sex and group sex. For me personally, this is something that I practice when I'm on my own. I'm kind of in my own world, and it does make masturbation a lot more kind of magical, I suppose. And it's more than just an outlet for sexual energy. I just feel like my whole masturbation sessions have a lot more meaning to them now. However, if I'm with a person, I'm not doing any magic or anything like that. I'm just completely mindful, and I'm 100% with that person and with that experience. However, there are some situations where, in this book, for example, he does talk about practicing magic with a partner, and maybe the other partner might not know you're performing magic, which for me there's a bit of an alarm bell going off there. But I wouldn't do that personally, but obviously everyone's different. And also it talks about group sex. I think I opened the book and it said something like the power of group sex, and I was like, not sure about that. So that doesn't really resonate with me either. The power of group sex, I don't know about that. But anyway, it was very interesting to read anyway the whole book, and then I was thirsty for more knowledge about this topic, and I'm currently reading this one, Sexual Sorcery, A Complete Guide to Sex Magic by Jason Augustus Newcomb, and I'm nearly finished it, and I absolutely love this book. And this is a bit this is more in line with how I see relationships and sex, as more of a kind of loving, exclusive cocoon kind of thing. And also, if you do perform sex magic with a partner, you'd be open about it, and you'd be going you'd be kind of aiming towards the same shared goals. That'd be more powerful. And it doesn't really say many good things about group sex and stuff like that, because I think other people can lose the sacredness of these things and just go in for the kind of vicious aim angle. I'm like, yeah, so I kind of agree with that personally. And there's lots and lots of different techniques here, and all about history of sex magic. So this is an excellent guide for someone who wants a bit more in-depth knowledge about this practice. And also there are many different techniques as well. So yeah, that's very good. And also, actually, last year I read this book called The Art of Sex Magic by Margot Anand, and she's the author of The Art of Sexual Ecstasy. And she's a neo-tantric teacher, and this is a lot of these exercises in this book are aimed towards couples, and it's a really beautiful book. And also there are lots of exercises that can help you create or develop more intimacy with your partner as well. So this is not just about magic, and for me this is like a very loving guide, a very loving and intimate guide for amazing sex with your partner and just creating more intimacy, basically. Yeah, and I was reading this thinking, I wish I wasn't single. So I just do have the intention to revisit this book one day when I am in a situation with someone that I can practice all these things with. Yeah, so I wanted to share this with you today, and I hope this is useful, because it's very interesting to actually use sexual energy towards your goals, and use it for a higher purpose than just kind of masturbating to porn or being promiscuous. I think that's a kind of waste of energy almost. And about this males losing sexual energy, there is a very interesting passage in this book, in Sexual Sorcery, about the myth of energy loss. I can't remember what it was called now exactly, but it was because it's kind of the opposite of sex transmutation, in that it doesn't recognize that you would lose energy through ejaculation, or it's called the myth of semen loss, because it was kind of saying that that would imply that energy is finite when it's not really. You can get energy from, it's a kind of infinite source really. And also they do talk about in lots of things that are, or books and videos that I've read or seen about sex magic, they also encourage edging. So edging is kind of like, I would say, a kind of middle ground between sex transmutation and sex magic, possibly, because what you could do is you could actually masturbate and get all that energy going through your body, and then stop at a moment when you have several edges. That would mean stopping or reducing the stimulation just before you're about to orgasm, and having several peaks of stimulation, and then you could have an orgasm if you want, but you could stop and then you have lots and lots of energy. I've actually practiced this a few times. I've done this on time during times when I haven't slept very well, and I've masturbated and edged several times, and then I kind of stopped without an orgasm, and I found I've had lots and lots of energy, almost like having a coffee. But that's my personal experience, and I've had some people actually write to me about this who agreed with me there. So that's very interesting, an interesting practice as well. But I think you can practice both things. For example, you could practice sex transmutation when you're on a long train journey. Perhaps it could be a very boring long train journey, and that's the moment where you can't masturbate or anything. Well, you shouldn't, and you could guide your thoughts towards something you want to manifest if you're feeling a little bit aroused, or you could meditate and just really focus on whatever it is you want to manifest. And then if you're actually arriving at destination, you could finish off with some sex magic. So I don't think the two of those practices are mutually exclusive by any means. Anyway, I hope you find this video interesting, and I would encourage you to check out these books if you're interested in these topics, and you'll know lots and lots more about it. Anyway, if you want to write to me with any suggestions for new videos, don't hesitate to contact me at venusohara.org or on Instagram at venusohara. Thanks for watching.